Hello and welcome to another exciting Super Metroid Randomizer League matchup. This week is week 7, which we'll talk about a little bit. Is the full everything week. I'll be on comms tonight. My name's Mass Hysteria. Joining me tracking is the one and only Jestro Zooks. We got a great matchup. We're gonna watch the current. I guess you'd say defending champs, maybe, with a slight team change. But we've got Southern Route with Kip and Derp racing Spring Ballin with Beep to the Boop and Fat Scott tonight. This is a Criteria Division matchup, and the guys in Southern Route are looking to win one tonight to potentially take the division. So we should be getting pretty close to kicking this thing off. All right. Well, yeah, there we go. All right, so what do I mean when I say full everything? I mean basically everything that we could randomize. We've randomized it. So we're going to have full item randomization. That means that any item can be in any location, with the minor exceptions of we're still not letting suits happen in the very early game, just because we don't want the match to be decided in the first 5 minutes or something like that. Along with randomizing all of the items, we have full area randomization, meaning that certain portals within the game are going to, instead of taking you to their vanilla location, are going to take you to different areas. And finally, we have boss randomization, which means that our bosses have found themselves new homes. We still have to defeat all 4, but we have interesting conditions that we have to look into of, is Fantoon now going to be at Kraid, and is Dragon going to be at Ridley, which can make for some pretty interesting dynamics. And really, it makes the players have to play a little bit more safely. This is probably, with a setting like that, is one of the few times that you're going to see top runners like this actually making saves within a game. So we can see everybody starting out normal, heading, getting their morph ball. And now we're going to do a little bit of cleanup here to grab our other couple items that we have. We've got some missile packs, an E-tank. An important thing that we've seen already is that there's no power bombs. So that means that the Billy Mays check that we have right up there will be orphaned, at least for the moment, as well as there won't be an ability to go check the meme route Retro PB's location. So potentially we'll come back and we'll see that at some point, but realistically they may find another portal that leads to the other side of that, and we just may never actually get there. So everybody's looking pretty good. Nice clean start to the match. Honestly, the one nice thing about not finding those PBs is those hoppers over there, they do a ton of damage. And so it wouldn't have been the first time that you see somebody take a hit or two that they don't want to hit. So at least at this point, we get to the race stays pretty close. Now, as I said, this is a Criteria Division matchup, and we actually have a doubleheader going on. So once we finish this match, everybody settle in. We'll take a little break. We'll let everybody go grab a drink or something like that, and then we'll go again. Now, there's only the slightest apprehension in my voice because we had a little player swap on the Spring Ball inside, so I believe that it'll be Messier and Beep to the Boop doing the next race, but I guess we'll see what happens when the time comes. All right, we've got 3 of our runners heading in to fight BT, and of course, because we got bombs, we actually get to see the BT fight. So. And so I've mentioned that we're randomizing everything, but one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is why do we have 4 people racing all at the same time right now? And that's because to make this a little more interesting, we're doing co-op. So our two teams each have 2 players, and they're communicating with each other, probably via Discord or something like that, giving each other information, tracking the items. So now we're going to start seeing some divergence. So we see Kip ran down to check Old Mother Brain. Derp went and checked 230. We've got Fat Scott heading up to check Gauntlet. Looks like Beep is going to head maybe to Gauntlet as well. But this is going to be kind of the trick to getting through these seeds in a fast manner, is to start getting divergence, right? So we can grab a lot of information, check the portals, check the items, and then once we find the killer item, we can all just get there as quick as possible. All right, and our first portal... Gosh, I'm already losing him. All right, so Beep just found Red Tower. And Derp found the tube. So basically we're going into Red Brinstar. Ooh. Oh, Fat Scott. I think he had a save right before checking, trying out Gauntlet there. The acid at this point is pretty intense. All right. So it does seem that, at least for now, that Red Brinstar is probably the way we want to go. We've seen that wreck ship, the backside of wreck ship exit, but with this loadout, there's really nothing we can do at this point. And actually, this kind of makes it interesting, because traditionally you see players, the 2 players split up, as quickly as possible, and to some extent, actually having people in the same zone right out the gate, you don't always see that in these. So what that can do, though, is you can still use the co-op to your advantage, right? Because if you find, oh, this is just another missile pack and we're trying to move fast because it's early game and we're trying to get a leg up on the other team, you can just potentially skip that item and move along. All right, and Derp bringing in the Alpha PBs with the Spazer. Yeah, we're not loving the power bombs in this one. Not loving the power bombs. I'm not sure though. With Kip's check here at Gauntlet, I'm not sure if we've seen the backside at this point because Fat Scott didn't quite make it through. So do we have? Yep, there's the power bomb pack right there. So yeah, so the big question is, where is the next pack? Yeah, sometimes these seeds can just be set up where there's really only one good way to go. Now, realistically, as they head into Green Brinstar, there's a lot of opportunity, you know, to find more items just because it's such an item-dense area. And so now we'll get a chance to take a look at the moat. Now, based on my understanding of the logic, moat is technically not in logic at this point, but if players feel comfortable doing a CWJ, like Kip just pulled off right there, we can go ahead and take a peek and see what might be over here. And it's maybe the good side of Wreck Ship, especially with this loadout. And look at that. Derp gets bailed out with a power bomb pack right there. So Beep and Scott will both be right behind him getting those. So that's good. It's good that we didn't get stuck with just the one power bomb pack at this point. So what do we think? What's the boss going to be, everybody? First boss. I mean, it's Fancy or Crate, sure. Yeah, probably Ridley. That's my guess, Ridley. Hey. Nice. And so now, if you're not familiar with how area randomization works, we get to see a little bit of the nuance because although the boss located at the wrecked ship was just defeated by Kip, because it was not Fantoon, the wrecked ship is going to stay asleep. So if there is a key item in wrecked ship, it will require the players to find Old Fanny Pack, knock him out, and then backtrack over here to see what they can find. Ah, and double beams in Alpha PB's location. Pretty interesting. All right, and we still got a little bit of cleanup between the racers. Everybody's still sort of just clearing out. Again, you know, green Brinstar, green pink Brinstar. It's just super item dense, so we can spend a lot of time in here just making sure that we have everything cleared out. Oh, you know, I didn't even see Kit pickup charge. Yeah, beam tower for sure. Here we've got an early X-ray check going on. Sort of just like the moat check that we had earlier, not technically in logic at the moment. But not an issue for these runners. Now I will say though, swapping to do those power bombs like that, not the easiest trick in the world, so well executed and rewarded with speed booster. Ooh, beep. Had me on the edge of my seat there. Fat too. Again, those hoppers, like I was saying earlier, hoppers just do a ton of damage. And those door transitions, they can give you a thump on the way out. So So as you're watching the race tonight, if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, we'll encourage you to follow all the runners. Like I said, uh, everybody racing is really talented and a lot of fun to watch. And you can find, yeah, thanks for the link there, Jestro. You can find everybody on Twitch. This is the final week of the regular season, but we will have league playoffs coming up, as well as the Super Metroid community always has some sort of tournament or some sort of events going on, including racing at Speed Gaming Live later this year too, which will be an in-person event, as well as some races going on in the summer. So be sure to stay tuned on all of the Speed Gaming channels and really just come out, support the runners, and maybe come run some races yourself too, right? Right. So it looks like Kip and Derp were practicing together because he also pulled off the same powerbomb strat to clear out the waivers in that early X-ray. So well executed, nice team effort. Yes, that is correct. The winner of tonight is the average time between both racers, which has in some races been the difference maker. I know I personally was in a race where we had one of our racers finish earlier and one finish later, and it didn't turn out in our favor. But oh, interesting. We have a Crystal Flash going from Derp. And unfortunately, Derp getting grabbed by the Yapping Maw. But again, we do have some saves, so we can just roll back and we'll get back over there as soon as we can. So now I'm wondering if Beep is heading down to check that Retro PB store or even potentially Billy Mays. I don't think we've actually checked that one yet, so that'd be interesting. We haven't really seen any of those items, so. Let's see Derp go for round 2 on this. Well, Billy Mays at least had 2 super packs. Now we do have charge, so it's not quite as important, but there's still nothing wrong with super pack. And kept finding screw attack up at the landing site PBs. It's an interesting race, gang. I'm curious to see. We've seen a lot of Bryn stars, and I guess we saw a wrecked ship, but you know we need to find something else interesting, and I'm guessing that this portal here is going to be the ticket. So Kip's coming down to make that check as well, so people just have a little slight advantage on him. Again, let's just watch out for our hopper friends here. Oh, interesting. So our hopper friends are guarding the redfish top of Meridia exit. So if I had to guess, I would assume that what we're being told to do is to go that direction and to basically fall down over to Main Street or maybe even Map Station and let that be our way to kind of keep moving along. I can understand turning around though, as Beep did, because that is a treacherous drop. Basically, the Meridia enemies are strong enough that with this loadout, it really doesn't take but a hit or two, and especially you can get double hit, things like that. The crabs in particular are super pain, and so it can be very nerve-wracking trying to go in there with just the power suit and 1 energy tank. Nice quick kill from Fat Scott. So what we need now, though, is we need to find another area, and we need to find a suit. Now, from that Meridia exit, that red fish portal, one option is we do have the crab PBs, or the crab supers, I should say, right there. So that I've seen several seeds where we just, sure enough, we just had Varia or Gravity right there. And you see the pause there. Even experienced runners like Kip, when you get in that situation, you say, okay, now I gotta drop. Am I sure I want to do that? And actually, we have Kip and Beep now in the same room. So Beep went back to save, just as a precaution here. And we see Kip went for the crabs here. Just a reserve tank, no big deal. And I think I missed it somehow. Oh, that's right. Single chamber was Meridia Escape earlier. So Derps made his way over to Upper Norfair and found Ice Beam. So we've made our way to New Route Beam. And so minus Plasma, we're pretty much good to go. So all of these players are comfortable with Ridley fights and Mother Brain fights using this loadout. So we're pretty good on the beam situation at this point. And Gravity Suit. Now, I'm not sure if anybody in chat knows. I would think that with the Ice Beam that Derp just found, that Gravity would have been in logic. I'm not sure if the intended logic was for Kip to be able to get that right now. But regardless, big pickup. Interesting. Okay. So maybe high jump plus spring or ice. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And so while this is happening, we get to see what Croc has hidden behind him. Derp dispensing with Croc, no problem. Unfortunately, though, the Spring Ballin gang, as they're heading down, have not gotten over to Mama Turtle. And so this is going to be interesting because without that, the Southern Route gang they're just going to have a really big lead. Beep heading in for his Croc fight. Yeah, that's a good question. What will Kraid be holding for us? At this point, there's only one boss that kind of stands in our way, so. Yo. Derp with the Shine Spark over to Indiana Jones missiles. Pretty nice. And so as I mentioned earlier, we will have another match directly after this one from these same two teams, a doubleheader. But while that's going on, there's also plenty of other Super Metroid Randomizer League matches going on. And maybe even through the night tonight. I know last night we had them going pretty late. So if you're looking for something fun, let's hang out and watch some Super Metroid together. Phantoon. Down goes the ghost. All right, and let's see where we head to next. Well, I think Derp just reset out because he didn't find anything down there. Just faster than traveling all the way back up. Yeah, yeah. Oh, are you saying Derp didn't check cosine missiles? Ah, okay. Yeah, that is a little odd then. Kind of missed that. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, this has been a pretty interesting race because, you know, well, I guess the biggest differentiator has been that Team Southern Route was willing to do the early X-ray, which got him the speed booster, and then kept finding that gravity suit on the way down. I guess as well as the high jump boots. So that's a good point because he wouldn't have had high jump boots without speed. So really, it kind of comes down to being able to get that speed to really feel comfortable making a lot of these checks. So, but aside from that, I mean, our players are really still in the same rooms. We have, you know, I think Kip's the only one with 2 bosses down. So still anybody's race. So I'm just going to call it Gravity Suit at Cathedral. Gravity Suit, Various Suit, excuse me. Various Suit at Cathedral. Various Suit at Wreckship Reserve. That is also a pretty troll location for Wreckship or for Various Suit. Pretty troll. But I guess the interesting thing is that we can probably guess that with Fantoon down now and knowing the location of Wreckship, that we may see Kip beeline it over there, try to clear some of those items out. Well, moment of truth. And it is not Various Suit. All right, so as we can expect, now we have Derp following Kip. Go pick up his gravity suit, more than likely. And of course, Fat Scott making the hell run right here. Again, this is another instance where we're getting to see the advantage of having that speed booster. Fat Scott using some pretty nice ice strats here. Gonna use that reserve tank to give himself enough energy to make it to the other side. No fuss, no muss. Oh really, there was a seed with both suits after bowling? That's pretty crazy. I missed that one. So Derp's going for that right side to get over to Mama Turtle, get the gravity suit. With his ice beam set up, he could. There's a pretty comfy strat to go down on the left side and to freeze the fish underneath as you're going. He may or may not have been practicing that recently. I think it's a pretty common RBO strat for folks like me that do double dips into Meridia. Ah, yeah, that makes sense to you. Kip is now making his way through all these East Meridia checks. Nothing too exciting there. Oh, and Fat Scott taking a death there. Got a save location. Always painful, but always good to have a backup. All right. And now we'll see Derp coming back. Ooh, unfortunately, taking a death on that red pirate right there. You know, with a seed like this, it's interesting. Anytime something like that happens, you know, we've seen several accidental deaths happen along the way, and honestly, the more we mix these things up, at least in my opinion, it seems like we see these happen more and more. But it can't help but make you feel, as a runner, that you're falling behind. So Derp doesn't know. They're probably he and Kip are probably a little in the lead at this point. But I'm sure that taking that death, just like the one that Scott took, they're both sitting there feeling like, oh man. But that's why we got to keep racing. So at this point, we've got Kip heading over to the Dragon location. And with the loadout that he has right now, with 33 supers, this should be no problem. Even if it's Ridley, Kip has enough health. He makes this fight happen all the time. And it is our pelican friend. And that's how we do it. All right, so that tells us that we have Dragon down at Lower Norfair. So now the hunt is on. We have to find our Varia suit, and really, it's looking more and more like maybe wreck ship is going to be the key for that one. Now, just like when earlier, where the wreck ship was still locked up because Fantoon wasn't down, well, now we can't get to Plasma Beam, for example, because technically Dragon is not down yet, even though we just took down the boss that's in Meridia. Yes, and Derp making his way. Picking up that gravity suit, feeling really good now. Yeah, I agree, Ike. Not the nicest spot to put gravity suit for sure. So just hitting the 50-minute mark. We know all of the bosses. We know one of the suits. We got one more to find. And so, yeah, so now Kip clearly heading over to wrecked ship, right over here at the moat. Yes, Beast brings up a good point. Spring Ball would definitely be a worse location for gravity. Fortunately, at least in league settings, that's not something that we have to worry about at this point. I think maybe they do some really mean randomizer tournaments sometimes where they say, well, gosh, how hard can we make it? And that's the kind of thing that we get to see in there. But fortunately not tonight. All right. So Beep making the trip back down from the Redfish location again. So we'll see if they will go ahead and make the check at Mama Turtle. Again, with the beam combination they have, they could definitely make it happen. Even the midair morph is technically possible. And Kip found Varia. I look away for a second. That rascal. All right. So, go mode. And now, to figure out the routing. Always the tricky part. Beep's going for the morph. Looked pretty good to me. There it is. Nice. Now, I think we found Torian earlier. I lost track of it. Jestro, you have it marked? Grade mouth. Got it. So for the most part, we know where we're going. Three Musketeers was back in Green Bryn. I think we saw the Ridley Mouth entrance as well. I'm blanking on that one, but I'm guessing that Kip knows which way he's going here. And so, yes, another thing for us to consider. Remember, it is average time for the win here. Although Kip has gotten a little bit ahead of Derp, that's okay. Each runner just needs to get the information from their teammate, but really just finishing as fast as possible while helping your teammate out is going to be your best bet. So I don't expect too many more checks from Kip, though. Really, plasma is the only thing. No one would ever hate getting a space jump, but plasma is the main thing that would be nice to have at this point. Oh, that's interesting. So, with the teammate communication, Kip told Derp that Grapple was in that right side supers location. And so, must be thinking about quick kill on Dragon. That's a good heads up play. I think that's an item that a lot of people would just say, that's okay, we don't need it. But that's definitely going to save some time. Derp finishing up Kraid. Unfortunately, big guy decided to stand up and wave at all his friends. Oh, and Kip missing that quick kill by just a hair. And we see now Kip heading straight out, not even checking the item. With Derp coming in to pick up their screw attack. So at the 1 hour mark, we know where we need to go. We know what we need to do. Now it's just time to get there. Beep taking care of bot wound. showing us just how to beat that killer hitbox. Nice fight. Bat Scott going with Doppler strats on Fantoon. And so really for the Team Southern route, this routing that Kip has here is really going to be pretty efficient. Coming back out in Upper Norfair at the Lava Dive room, just a quick run over to get to Torian over at Crademouth. So oh, that's a good point, Jestro. Yeah, and clearly this loadout, pretty comfy one. New route plus a few niceties like screw attack. Beep trying to get the pogo manip from Ridley, just needs to jump a little higher. A little bit in the reserves. And again, that's all right. Just gotta head back in there, try it again. Ah, Kip did skip ice. Well, I think he's just looking for an opportunity to show off that swaggy speed Zeb skip. That's what I'm saying. Beep's Ridley fight. Going all right, going okay. Got the little pogo manip there. Oh, come on, Ridley. Should have him dead. Oh. I know, Ridley's just trying to make our lives difficult here. All right, time for the baby skip attempt. Nothing to it. All right. So Kip's going to unload all of his ammo onto Mother Brain. No reason not to. From a pure DPS standpoint, these supers are going to do a lot more damage, especially without the ice beam. And we're already to the catch-up phase. Now, it's unclear to me whether or not Kip will go for stand-up. Knowing how far ahead he is of his teammate, maybe he'll be feeling pretty good and wouldn't want to risk potentially having issues there related to the stand-up, so we'll just kind of see what happens. Additionally, just trying to do stand-up with charged wave spazer shots doesn't really do a lot of damage. Yeah. So the rest of our players will go as fast as they can now that we're figuring out where things are. Fat's got Varia, so Beep to the Boop knows which way to go as well. So now we just got to get there. And Derp's heading over to hang out with our good friend Ridley. Nice spot wound kill there. Gang, I'm not gonna lie. These races are fun, but I will tell you, doing these by yourself, there's a lot of information happening at the same time. So, you know, I have to again point out my guy Jestro Zooks. Without him on the tracker here, I would definitely be lost doing this. So, everybody feel free to thank old Jestro, as well as all of the trackers. I know we had Paragon last night on one of my races along with Jestro, and so yeah, it really does take a team effort to get all this done. So Derp coming in to Ridley with the Varia suit, plus a pretty stacked set of ammo. Shouldn't be any kind of hiccup. And little does everybody know, the real advantage that you get for being the first one to finish in a 4-person race like this is, yeah, I mean, you get to feel good about yourself, but you get to hang out for like a whole, 5 to 10 minutes or whatever while your partner finishes up, so that you can just take a break, let the dog out, whatever you need to do. And so Kip will get that reward here in just a second. And in first place, Kip. GG. And so now we just have the cleanup for the rest of our runners. Derp should be heading over to Torian. I think he went maybe a slightly different route to get there. But still, just heading over to the Crade Mouth location and on in there to fight Mother Brain. So once again, remember, give the runners a follow and stick around. We've got Derp heading into Torian. It looks like Southern Route is. I got this one under control. We'll have to watch the rest of the race to make sure everything goes according to plan. But regardless, either way, we have another race right after this. So stick around. It'll be me and DJ Webb will be joining me on the call. So. Pat Scott making quick work of Ridley. Beep to the boop. Taking out the ghost. Boss fights everywhere. Fat going for the sand spring ball bounce. That was pretty nice. I'm not sure that I've ever tried that one before. I'll have to play with that. That's pretty fun. Okay, and we see Derp playing it safe. At this point, He knows his teammate's already finished. No reason to be risky. Come on in. I think maybe Derp has forgotten that he has ice, or... Ah, spring ball skip. Sure. All right, we've got a MB2 fight, cutscene, and an escape. And then Derp will have his race wrapped up as well. All right, Derp has made his way through that initial MB2 fight, and now just the waiting and the poor baby. Right, Pat Scott making his way down to end up getting to fight Dragon here in just a minute. Dealing with these ninja pirates. And we'll have this Dragon fight going on just as Derpa is over there finishing up MB3. Nice quick grapple kill from Fat Scott. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, for watching our race. I'll say it one more time. Don't forget, we got one more right after this. And Derp just gonna make his way through the steam. Probably no animals. I think Kip and Zost had a deal where there was officially no animal saving allowed. Not that Derp would do it anyhow. But we have Derp finishing with a time of around 1:20. GG. Official race time of 1:20:20. So I believe that the Spring Ballin gang will more than likely be forfeiting because of the remaining time left in the race, and wanted to make sure that we have enough time to get into the next one. And that does appear to be the case. So, thanks everybody. GG to Southern Route on the win of this first race. Stick around. We're going to have one more here in a few minutes. We're going to give the runners a little bit of time to get themselves ready, get the next race room set up, and then we should be right back for more Super Metroid Randomizer League action.